Hello and welcome to Reporters, the programme that brings you the very best stories from our correspondents around the world. Today we're in Cameroon, where 1 in 5 of the nation's 55,000 premature babies are born before 22 weeks of pregnancy. Public hospitals often lack the necessary resources to take care of these children, and many of them will die. But for the last 10 years, one hospital has been developing a programme that could give these premature babies a better chance at life. It's called the Kangaroo Method programme and encourages skin contact between mother and child. As our correspondents found out, it has reduced the mortality rate for premature infants at the hospital from 39% to 12%.
Laquintinie Hospital in Douala. Out of the 6,000 babies born here every year, 150 are premature. For the last 10 years, this hospital in Cameroon has put in place a programme called the Kangaroo Method to help these early deliveries. Developed in Colombia in the 1970s, the programme significantly increases their survival rate.
Here you go.
Olive Makanda is the Kangaroo programme coordinator here.
In kangaroos, the baby is always underdeveloped at birth, and it comes to maturity as it's brought up in its mother's pouch.
Every Wednesday, Olive gives a talk for parents with premature babies participating in the Kangaroo programme. She has to find the right words to reassure nervous parents while teaching them about the benefits of the programme.
The Kangaroo Method helps you to warm, protect and keep a close eye on your baby, you see?
It's not just mums who are at the class. The Kangaroo programme is a family affair. Grandmas, dads and aunts can all help out.
My partner isn't here, so I'm having to take notes to learn how to do everything, and then I'll go through all the actions with her so that she knows how it works, because we haven't got just 1 or 2, but 4 new arrivals.
Mr. Fopas is a father to quadruplets, 3 girls and 1 boy. Born 3 days previously, the babies are doing well. With a birth weight of less than 2 kilos and without any serious illness, they meet all the criteria to be part of the Kangaroo programme. Helped by Olive, Dad follows the instructions for putting a baby in place.
The baby has very few clothes on. Dad picks her up and puts her in the kangaroo pouch. The baby in her slippers, with a wrap that's mainly just there for modesty's sake. It's a carrying method which allows for as much skin-to-skin contact between the baby and the parent as possible. The legs are laid out on the dad's chest. We very gently remove the pouch, and there we go. Our baby's in the kangaroo position.
I really enjoy it as well, because it's something that I'm finding out about, and I think it relaxes us both. I think it's good, and it's true that it really helps us to bond emotionally. She can feel my heartbeat, and I think that's partly what relaxes her.
The father's heartbeat encourages the baby's breathing reflex. The Kangaroo Method also works as a way to help prevent apnea, which often affects premature babies.
The Kangaroo Method is essential in developing world hospitals where budgets are stretched and equipment is lacking. At Laquintinie, there are only 2 incubators for 28 babies, so sharing is a must. Skin-to-skin contact can't completely replace the incubators, but it can help limit their use to only the most serious cases.
He must breathe in. He's running out of oxygen. Is that one having trouble too?
That morning in intensive care, the medical team is on edge.
So they've been having problems there all night, apparently.
3 babies have stopped breathing and the clock is ticking. They're given oxygen and heart massages by the doctors and nurses trying to revive them.
We don't have lots of oxygen supply, so we're having problems with these babies. They're all lacking oxygen at the same time.
The medical team managed to save the lives of all the babies this time. But death is a part of life at the premature baby unit.
In this unit 15 years ago, when I got here in the morning, I used to find 6 or 7 of the babies had died, all next to each other, dead. That's one thing that's really improved over the years.
Before Laquintinie started using the Kangaroo Method, the mortality rate for premature infants was 39%. Today, it's dropped to 12%.
For a premature baby, every day is a blessing.
For the past 10 years, Olive has devoted herself to these vulnerable families. When she's not at the centre, she's usually out visiting former patients. One important factor in the Kangaroo Mother programme is that it doesn't end at the hospital gates.
Oh, how are you?
Very well.
The baby in the kangaroo position. That's great. The baby's doing well. There aren't any problems, are there? Is he eating well?
Very well.
Félix Narcisse and Christelle returned home just 3 days ago with their son Prince Marlin. Olive has dropped by to see that everything's all right.
Already on Friday, he seemed increasingly hungry. We were worried it would be too much. So every 45 minutes or so, we gave him water or milk.
Oh no, actually you mustn't give him water. The baby must only have milk. It's good that we came by. Actually, yes, it's good that we dropped in.
On this surprise visit, Olive is accompanied by a nurse and a psychologist. The idea is to make sure the parents realise they're not alone. That night, we go back to visit the family on their own. After 4 weeks spent in hospital, returning home isn't easy and takes some getting used to.
Hey, little guy. You seem angry. You're tired, aren't you?
Everything's done with the greatest of care. The couple are doing everything to ensure the well-being of their new arrival.
Evenings are quite cold here, so he needs a pullover.
With everything we went through at the hospital, it's not easy going back home. You always think about all the hours there. I'm always checking if he's sleeping properly, that he hasn't been sick and that he's doing all right. There are always worries.
Premature babies are difficult, you know? Until they're 6 months old, it's not easy. You always have to be on the lookout with them. At any moment, they could need to go back to the hospital. Any moment.
19 and 26 years old, Christelle and Félix Narcisse are students who aren't earning very much. For them, the Kangaroo Method is a way to shorten the stay in hospital and by doing so, cut down on expenses.
We've made huge sacrifices. I don't even want to talk in terms of money because it's terrible. But it's all behind us. It's already in the past. The priority is Prince.
A month after coming into the world, little Prince Marlin is still very fragile, but he's doing well.
The Kangaroo program is really good. It fights the idea that premature babies don't have a chance of survival. If there's a hope, you just have to follow their instructions to the letter. What we went through at the hospital was terrifying, frankly. Because it's difficult. He was just the size of a little mouse. He had all sorts of tubes in him, even to eat. All of that's part of it. The first 10 days were so difficult.
Tonight, the young parents are a little anxious as they're looking ahead to their first visit back to the hospital since Prince Marlin was allowed home. It's the next day, and after an hour's journey, the family arrives at Laquintinie.
Oh, baby, the sun's shining. You'll get some vitamin D with that.
Despite looking relaxed, the couple are nervous. The baby's about to be weighed. At birth, Prince Marlin was 1.6 kilograms, and a month later, he was up to 1.85 kilos. If it's found that he's lost weight after returning home, it could mean he has to go back into hospital.
He's 2 kilos.
Great!
Mum is relieved. Her baby's put on 150 grams in 4 days. Better than she'd dared hope for. From now on, little Prince Marlin will be in the expert care of the founder of the Kangaroo Mother programme in Cameroon, Dr. Guifo. But that care starts with a series of tests which aren't always pleasant.
It's a bit cruel, I know, but I'm going to make him cry. To analyze the sound he makes. See, he's taking a step forward. That's a natural reflex. Come closer.
How's he doing?
Your baby's well.
Thank you.
He's gained some weight.
Thank you.
Over the next year, the parents will have to bring their son to the hospital regularly so that he can undergo medical checkups. It's one of the strengths of the Kangaroo program.
We'll stick with it until the baby can walk, because we say that when the baby walks, that's a turning point. The premature birth is forgotten, and it's now a normal baby that can get on with life.
Brian is one of over 1,300 Kangaroo program babies who've been born in Laquintinie Hospital. He's one of Olive's little protégés. He was born after just 7.5 months in the womb, weighing only 1.75 kilos. His mother and his aunt carried him in a kangaroo pouch for 5 months.
Oh, that's my little kangaroo baby.
Today, thanks to the method, Brian is a normal 13-month-old baby who, little by little, is taking his first steps.
Well, that's it for this edition of Reporters. You can watch this story and all our other reports once again on our website. That's france24.com, france24.com. Until next time, bye for now.